All right, thank you, Phil.
Valley tonight as well.
A candlelight service was held in Phoenix, and Nightcast reporter Julie Staley was there. She joins us now. I understand there were some Holocaust victims in this crowd tonight.
Yes, those survivors were among the hundreds that attended. They were people of all faiths gathered to stress the importance of remembering what happened 50 years ago tonight so that it might never happen again. The Night of Broken Glass, or Kristallnacht, as it was called by the Nazis. 20,000 Jews were arrested and dozens were killed. Synagogues were burned and the windows on Jewish homes and businesses were shattered. The events of that night shattered the childhood of Karl Offischer. He and other Holocaust survivors joined the crowd tonight that gathered to reflect on the events 50 years ago.
My mother was crying. The first time I really see her crying, and I asked her why. She said she has a brother in Germany. He lives in Berlin, and she don't know he will come out alive or not.
Karl's family was later sent away to Nazi death camps. He is the only one who came out alive. Tonight, he marched with the others through North Phoenix wearing a gold star, representative of the stars the Jews were forced by the Nazis to wear.
When I put on this star, I was a small boy. I was shaking. I was scared. I was afraid to get out. They go see me, they go take me away and never return. And now I had the same feeling, but then I realized I'm in America.
The consuls from West Germany and Israel flew in from Los Angeles for tonight's ceremony. The Israeli consul expressed concern that anti-Semitism is on the rise in this country. He said in Los Angeles, vandalism against Jewish homes and
last night, marking the 50th anniversary of the commemoration of Kristallnacht, the Night of Broken Glass. News 5's Bart Graves attended those ceremonies.
It was solemn, yet poignant. Candles, songs, speeches, and a walk through Central Phoenix, all of which paying tribute to the memory of Kristallnacht. A bad memory for those living in Nazi Germany on the evening of November 9th, 1938. Hundreds of synagogues were gutted and torched. Thousands of Jewish homes and shop windows were smashed, looted, and vandalized. Jews were killed. Hyman Goldberg remembers that many were children.
Then they put away the kids to start group them up, you know, in a place and tell them they're going to go away to Germany to work. And they're going to pay $15 mark a week to the parents. And after this, they start paying the $15 and they took them away to kill them. First one. They were first to go.
I used to speak in churches and colleges and schools, and lately I have a hard time concentrating. I can't even talk about it. It affects me mentally. And greatness which we have no longer. And it left a big scar with me.
Kristallnacht is not just remembered by survivors. It is observed today by both the Israeli and West German governments.
And we have to accept our history in its totality. We cannot just regard Beethoven, Goethe, and Schiller, as was mentioned here, as part of our history. The Holocaust is also part of our history, and young people should be aware of that.
I think it's a huge step. It's a big step. In a way, I won't say it's a natural one, but I think it's a needed one, because both countries, both nations should not forget what happened. And together, they should join forces with the rest of the free world to make sure that this kind of things will not happen again.
Bart Graves, News.
He was here. Somebody saw him.
Oh, he was?
Yes.
There's Willie, right back there.
Willie, here. Why? Because we have taken pictures. I'm in this. Oh, pictures are not here. Joe? Jean has my speech.
And chairperson for our program this evening, commemorating the 50th anniversary of Kristallnacht. I would like to recognize among the many dignitaries here this evening those individuals who will be leading our candlelit procession. Fred and Gertie Blau and Ruth Oppenheimer, survivors and Kristallnacht witnesses. Senator Tony West, Representatives Art Hamilton, Armando Ruiz, George Weiss, and Debbie McCune. Herb Drinkwater, Mayor of Scottsdale. Lon Moore, Israel Consulate. Dr. Klaus Ruprecht, West German Consulate. Rabbi William Burke of the Board of Rabbis of Greater Phoenix. Father Kurt Halderide of the Kino Institute. Bishop Heistadt, Episcopal Church. Irv Statler, President of the Jewish Federation of Greater Phoenix. Richard Rosen, Chairperson of the Community Relations Council of the Jewish Federation. Ida Steele and David Fraser of the Black Jewish Coalition. Ed Venezuela and Mark Berman of the Hispanic Jewish Coalition. I would like to personally express my thanks to Linda Moskowitz and the members of the United Synagogue Youth and the members of the B'nai B'rith Youth Organization assisting here tonight with the coordination and distribution of stars and candles. I would also like to thank Aaron Scholar of the Bureau of Jewish Education for his enthusiasm and invaluable guidance. Jeffrey Santis of the Community Relations Council for his tireless work, the staff person for this event. The members of the steering committee, and all the individuals who have helped make possible tonight's programs and the lecture series which will be held tomorrow and Friday. At the completion of the program here, we will begin our candlelit procession to the Holocaust Memorial on the grounds of Bethel Congregation. We will be crossing the intersection of Glendale and 7th Avenue, diagonally with the assistance of the Phoenix Police Department. Your cooperation and brisk movement will be greatly appreciated. If you have not received a candle holder, you will be able to obtain one and have it lit upon leaving here. If you have not received a Yudeh star, which we ask each participant to wear, you may also obtain one upon leaving. This is an important event, a solemn evening. Follow the procession leaders and the direction of the police. And let us make this a safe evening. I would like to now introduce Art Othan, Executive Assistant to Governor Rose Mofford, for the reading of the proclamation.
Good evening. In behalf of Governor Rose Mofford, we want to thank you for inviting us to spend this evening with you tonight. And I'd like to take this opportunity to read the proclamation by the governor on behalf of the state of Arizona, commemorating the 50th anniversary of Kristallnacht. Whereas Kristallnacht, the night of broken glass, is in Nazi Germany and Austria, led to the culmination of the first period of persecution of the Jewish people, a period marked by legal disenfranchisement, social segregation, pressured immigration, and systematic exclusion from economic life. Whereas Kristallnacht was a program and tradition of long European history of violent anti-Semitism, and whereas the program was not spontaneous or even not mob-directed, but instigated by the state of Germany, with full cooperation of those who were sworn to protect the powerless and the weak. And whereas Kristallnacht led to the death of 36 Jews, the arrest and deportation of 30,000 Jews to concentration camps, the setting afire of synagogues, the looting of 7,000 Jewish shops and businesses, and a fine of 1 billion marks levied upon the victims and the Jewish community. And whereas Kristallnacht signaled the beginning of the second period of Jewish persecution, officially directed violence and murdered the culmination in the final solution, the destruction of the European Jewish community, and the liquidation of 6 million Jews, 1.5 million of them being children. Now, therefore, I, Rose Mofford, Governor of the state of Arizona, do hereby proclaim November 9th, 1988, as an official day of commemoration and memory for the 50th anniversary of Kristallnacht, and urge the teaching and mutual tolerance and understanding so as to prevent any reoccurrence of this tragic and fatal event. Thank you very much.
I'd like to introduce Mayor Herb Drinkwater of Scottsdale.
Good evening. It's an honor to be with you this evening on this significant and painful anniversary, 50th anniversary of Kristallnacht, a day recognized by scholars and historians as marking the beginnings of the Holocaust. Kristallnacht in English means Night of the Broken Glass. And tonight, as we begin our walk from here to the Holocaust Memorial at Bethel Congregation, we remember how our lives as Jews and non-Jews changed as a result of the atrocities committed by the Nazis. Being a good, concerned citizen means speaking and demonstrating against evil, such as prejudice, anti-Semitism. We are fortunate to live in a land where we are free to speak, to assemble, and to work within the political system to bring about social reform. We are to remain free. We must never take these precious freedoms for granted. And we must never remain silent in the face of evil and injustice. One of the lessons of the Holocaust is that too many people remain silent. And ultimately, 6 million Jews and millions of others were murdered. We must never let this event repeat itself. We must stand united, as we do here this evening, to fight against anti-Semitism, racism, and all forms of bigotry and intolerance. Community and political leadership, as we have here tonight, and is demonstrated with the proclamation signed by all Valley mayors commemorating this very significant day, to keep us united and effective in the fight against bigotry. There is no room in my heart, no room in my city, in this country, for anti-Semitism and racism. All of us here this evening share that feeling. And tonight, let us all pledge to recommit ourselves in our fight against prejudice. Thank you very much.
I now would like to introduce Jean Lefang of the Church of Beatitude.
On that night when the glass was shattered and the synagogues burned, the question for all of us is, where were the people of conscience? When they heard what happened, who raised their voices to protest, and who risked speaking out? Kristallnacht and Holocaust have become symbols for us all of something greater than themselves. Where are we? And that is the question that God asked of us down through the ages. It is the question that God asked Adam and Eve in the garden when they hid from him. Where are you? It is a question that God asks us tonight in the face of the treatment of blacks in South Africa. Where are we? In the face of the treatment of dissidents in the Soviet Union, where are we? In the face of the treatment of refugees from Central America, where are we? Or the treatment of Arabs by Israel or Israel by Arabs, where are we? It is the question God always asks of people of conscience. Where are you? One of the fundamental causes of world tragedy is the failure to understand what Judaism has constantly emphasized: the social implications of being human. We cannot be human alone. And how we treat strangers and aliens is a test of our humanness. And we are appraised in our lives, finally, not by the accumulation of toys and wealth, and not by prestige or influence, but rather whether our fellow human beings have been at our side and we have been at theirs. Where are we when people are in need, in those very frequent moments in history when our voices and our presence would make a difference? And let's be realistic. It's not to heroes in the romantic sense that God addresses this question. Not to people who are superhuman, who were given an extra dose of courage and insight. God asks the question, where are you? To ordinary people, you and me, people who have lots of unanswered questions, great feelings of ambivalence, and all excuses in the world. Where are you? And the ordinary people become the people of faith and conscience because they place their bodies and their voices at the right place and the important place at times like this. Such a man was Dietrich Bonhoeffer, a German Christian pastor who, in the aftermath of Kristallnacht, was asked by one of his seminary students as they gathered there in Germany in that same year, "Can't we learn Gregorian chant, teacher? That beautiful, wonderful religious music?" And Bonhoeffer's reply was, "First, we must stand on the street corners and shout for the Jews, and then we can learn to sing again."